Hello there guys, Nick Z again. This is one of those funny things that happens late at night. I turn the power off from this thing, this contraption, with a switch. And I turn it off and the bulbs stay on. So, you know, sit there thinking, well, what the heck's going on here? But I do realize that I have a 12-volt battery. Well, it's a wall adapter, 12 volts, 2 amps, connected basically for this Kacher. So here's this thing connected up with 12 volts and 2 amps. I didn't want to hog up too much of the power from the yoke because my batteries are weak and all that. My battery charger doesn't put out that much either. So I made a separate connection here just for the Kacher. But then I decided, well, you know, I'll connect it in a certain way here so that some power can go through here. And then I put this little bulb over here, this guy here, with the ground, this green line here, out to my outside ground. And it was glowing there for a while. Depends on how the setting goes, but I can get it to glow. I can't really get it to light up, but it will glow. And even with a 220 volt microwave oven bulb like this one, it was glowing pretty good. So anyway, I turn this thing off and these two lights stay on. Now this light here is 25 watts and this one is 50. And no, they're not lit to anywhere close to full brightness, but they're lit. And this little coil over, or the little bulb over here, was also lit. Right now it's not lit, and I don't want to play with it trying to get it to light up to show you, but it was glowing. And all it's connected to, that little bulb, is connected to the grenade output, the 168 turn coil, to this little bulb. That's all it's connected to. It's not connected to the yoke. And then I had a ground line coming off of it here. So anyway, kind of an interesting effect that I could light two of these lights and the little guy that was shining and this thing here all with 2 amps. 2 amps and 12 volts. Of course, even when you hook up all this stuff, it drops it down from 12 volts down to probably 11 or something like that. So less than 12 volts. And here I'm lighting some lights. Now let me see if I can play around with this a little bit and get it to show some light. Let me have a seat here. On this little bulb here, let me play around with it, see what I can get. Because it's not always that I get light from it. Sometimes I have to turn on the yoke, power the charger, and light some lights up with it. It's 175 watts. Let me get back a little bit. I don't know how to position it so you can kind of see, but there, okay, more or less. So that's 107. That's that 25, 50, and 100 watt bulb going there. The little indicator lights showing that there's some juice flowing in there too. That it's somewhat in some point of resonance, at least enough to light that indicator. So anyway, if I turn off all the bulbs, they turn off, okay. But if I just have, like this one, the 25 watt bulb there, just turned on just from the light that I'm using for the Kacher, for this thing here. right? So anyway, just thought it was interesting. And then now this little bulb, I don't know if you can see it, it probably needs some black paper or something, but it is glowing. I mean, I get some reflections from the lights up above, but the thing is glowing. Now, I can play around with it and get it better or worse depending on the lights that I turn on. Let me turn on the 50 watt bulb and see. Oh, it went out. And sometimes it's hard to even get it to light up, but it will light up. And right now I can't get anything to light up. See, if you touch these things, I just breathe wrong and it stops. But anyway, what I do is I kick on the yoke power and get the bulbs running. You know, these are all the original bulbs there. And somehow that does something to it. It gives it that kick start that it kind of needs to get that little bulb to glow. But let me turn off these lights and see if I can. It seems to like the 50 watt bulb better than the 25. Let's see if I can get it to glow. Well, it's glowing, but barely. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's glowing. Anyway, so it's got a ground. If I disconnect the ground, I get nothing. So now the funny thing was that this is one of the two wires coming out of the grenade here, and if I connect it to the little bulb, it starts to glow a little bit, just a little bit. But if I connect the ground to the it's hard to see what I'm doing here, but if I connect the ground to the bulb, I get it to glow too, with just one connection to the bulb and the other going to the ground. And you can see what the meter does here. Let me get a better view. Okay, so the little bulb is barely glowing, but this is what the meter says. Now if I disconnect the ground, it goes shooting up higher, but then I kind of lose the light there. Well, I can feel the high voltage coming through one of these wires here. So there's that bulb glowing again. Now remember, I'm just using just a couple amps here. Now I've just turned off the power to the yoke. This light stays on. Okay? What happens if I turn this other one on? It comes on also. So here I'm lighting two of these 110 watt bulbs, not 110 watt, but 110, 20 volts. And, you know, I can light these kind of fluorescents and stuff. I'm not interested in that. Basically, I was working on trying to get this little bulb to show me some kind of connection between the Kacher and the grenade and the ground, you know. Now I figured if I could get this little bulb to light nice and bright, or you know, a little bit, half bright, I'd be a happy camper. But I was real surprised to see the effect of these bulbs staying on with 2 watts. So I hope I didn't bore you. But it was kind of a little surprising to turn off the power and then have those bulbs come on. Here it is with the yoke, connected to the battery charger again. And I do have to turn this one off, the 100 watt bulb, for those other ones to stay on. I just turned it off, and those lights are staying on. Just running on the 12 volt. From the wall, from the grid. So that's kind of an interesting thing, and now I'm going to keep continuing on to get this little bulbs here and the grenade and all that working to see what I can come up with on that end. I just thought I'd let you know what I've been doing, playing around with. So anyway, thanks for watching.